Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jason Simpson with Hoosier Faithful. I have a guest today. I have my son Chase with me. Hopefully the echo's not too bad. If it is, give me a holler. Uh, Today we're going to be discussing the amazing win against Oregon, some of the key plays that happened, and also the game coming up, Michigan State versus Indiana for the old brass platoon. I can't wait for this game. So I just can't wait to get into this. So excited. I've been watching Indiana football for over 30 years at the stadium, and all the way back to going way back to Bill Mallory, all the way back to from Bill Mallory now to Kurt Signetti. I've been watching every year. It's been exciting. Definitely exciting the last couple of years, and we had some very good coaches in the past, players, but this is just unbelievable what way this is going now. So, in getting into the Oregon IU game, some of the key plays I thought of the game was the 58-yard field goal. Man, that was amazing. Field goal at the end of the half.
Not just once, but twice.
Yeah, he hit it twice. Yeah, that's right. And but that was amazing. And also we had another amazing Cooper's catch. Man, that was sick. And then for him to battle through and get 3-4 more yards on that
to get the first down.
To get the first down, Mendoza's first down run in the first quarter. So many big plays and on defense, man. Landino, Mario Landino, wow. Yeah. He's been on fire.
Showed up.
Yeah, I've been saying him from the beginning of the season that I really thought that he was going to be a key player in this. With them double teaming a lot on Kamara, that's why he's not getting the sacks that he's used to getting. And then it opens up the rest of the defensive line and Wyatt and Dino and Husa Wheeler and all those players. I mean, the whole defense in the back end has been playing really well. We had one little hiccup on a slant route that I don't know if it was the safe. I was looking at film, but I still couldn't really tell if it was a
miscommunication
between the corner and the safety again.
Yeah,
that happened to us. This happened to us in the past too, past couple of 4 years. And this year it's happened a couple of times. That's something that we'll have to work on still. Get those guys together. I thought that Pons had a great game. I think he only allowed 30-some yards on 7 catches or something like that, but mostly locked down the whole time.
And all the corners locked.
Yeah, Jamari Sharp had I thought amazing game. Coach got after him a little bit after he went down on the field, was laying down.
You have those in those high emotional games.
Yeah, you have those, and you got to take that as a player. If Jamari's watching, we have talked in the past. Even I have talked in the past, and I told you, if you work hard, and this was last year, I haven't talked to him this year. If you work hard, you will start, and you will do great because he's another one of Tom Allen's leftovers that is playing really well. As is Landino, and Bones Jones. We have some players, Farrell and Benson, and I mean, there's players that play for Coach Allen's teams, and they're playing really well too. But Adrian Fisher had a great game, playing the 3 linebacker set.
A Big Ten Player of the Week,
Adrian
Fisher. I mean, hell of a linebacker. That's being a middle linebacker going against a team like that. I could not amount the stress and then at the end of the game, the relief.
Yeah.
That's a little scary if you ask me.
You know, and I'll have to admit, when Fernando threw that interception, I looked at my dad and my son, and I said, "This is for us fans that have been around for a long time, a very long time." I looked over at my dad and Chase, and I go, "That's the game." I said it to them, but that's just my mind that has been ingrained in my brain for so many years that a big play like this happens that does that to your head. I shouldn't have said it, but Chase and Dad and my mom, who is back home now, are like, "Don't worry about it. We'll be fine."
And that's where you can show that Mendoza actually has that NFL, prospect in him. That, he had all those great quality people around him. And, it's great to have that team around him to lift him back up.
Yeah, it is. He has a very good wide receiving core that's with him. I even saw Becker that was in there a couple of times, and that was really good to see because he's been showing up so much on special teams. Him and Isaiah Jones both, Pons, but anyway, the whole team has been showing up on special teams, and that was good to see him get in there. We have, like I said, really good wide receiver depth, and I don't think not as good as last year, but we're pretty good still. I mean, we have Miles Price and Keyshawn Williams both playing in the NFL. So,
man, Becker, man, he's gonna shoot out. He's only a sophomore. He's only a sophomore. If you give that guy a little bit more extra reps, I'm telling you, I see it in him. He is gonna go.
Yeah,
he's gonna shoot up, and he's gonna be good.
He's gonna be. I think he's gonna be. He's tall and he's pretty tall.
Fast. Can break tackles too.
Yeah, I see him being a good wide receiver for us, even this season. Later on in the season.
I mean, if you really see it though, with Becker, he has two quality people up in front of him that are gonna teach him absolutely everything.
Yeah, Surratt,
Cooper, Williams. I mean, you have to understand that this kid, I feel like next year, and please stick around, Becker. Next year, that dude is going to have unlimited reps to become better because, man, he's a killer.
I totally agree with you. I tell you, you're right. It's going to be pretty amazing. Staying on this year though, what's the number 0's name or not name?
On offense?
Yeah, he's a kick returner, special teams player, and I can't remember the top of my head. But he's another. Is it Morris? I can't remember. I can't remember his name, but he's another player that I don't know what year he is, but he's been doing a lot of good on special teams too.
He on special teams, the only thing, and granted, I've only played to a certain level, which I kind of failed myself on that. I should have kept going. But we'll get into that some other day.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is that, whenever you're on punt and you have that ball coming down, we have always been taught the way to spiral.
Yeah.
I would hate, and knock on wood, for one to come down, hit his chest, and bounce off somewhere. He's trying to catch it with his body instead of cupping the ball when it comes down.
Yeah.
And putting that lead leg down, and whenever you look, okay, do I have a gap to go to?
Yeah.
In the Oregon game, no, he didn't.
He didn't.
Making that first man miss is always the hard part.
On film, God, that Oregon team is fast and big, and the naysay. I talked to Coach Kuntz on Thursday night at the coaches show. You know, they were saying how Indiana's too small against the big boys of Oregon, and we go in, and I mean, we were dominant on the defensive line in general. You know, that was just I was so pumped for that defensive line. You know, like I said, you know, Landino, Wyatt, Husa Wheeler, you know, all of that whole defensive line, Kamara, and then our linebackers, our 3 linebackers started. Man, we played a different defense than we have all year.
Jonathan Brady is a wide receiver out of Los Angeles.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. That's the guy that I'm thinking about?
Yeah.
Okay. But, yeah, so, I mean, it's a pretty amazing game all around. You know, now we're going to go into Michigan State. That was a great win, but it's the next game, you know. Now, as a team, the team has to focus, not listen to the crap on the outside, and just do your business inside.
And I like the idea of no social media.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest thing too, is not getting in your head, being clear-minded, and coming and stepping in this game. I'm telling you this now.
Yeah.
This, from now on out, can always be a trap game.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that happens to. You know what I mean? It's a lot of teams that happens to. They have this huge, massive win that no one expected them to win.
Yeah.
They go in and win. In Oregon, who only has IU's the second loss they've had in years.
18 years we broke.
Yeah,
in their stadium. They had a winning streak for
in 2004.
Yeah. Which we won.
We won. That was Jerry DiNardo, I think, that was the coach then. Yeah, that was our last win in Oregon. Yeah, that was pretty amazing, I tell you.
I really want to know, because this is bragging rights right now.
I believe that Michael Penix was a quarterback then.
No, 4?
No.
I was 4 years old. Why are you asking me? I don't remember.
No, it wasn't Michael Penix. It could have been. I can't remember now. But I remember it was a great game. I really do. And we won there in 2004. But like I said, we got to stop off that because I'm still pumped. I mean, I almost started to cry after we won that game. And
it's huge because, you know, I've been an IU football fan for, all my life, so 26 years.
Yeah, you've been at the games since you were a baby.
I've been at the games at the losing seasons. Like, I'm a diehard Indiana fan, and see this, you know, something I've dreamt about, like, for days. People are just like, hey, you know, IU sucks, right? Well, now I'm sitting here like, number 3?
Yeah, I remember.
Third in the nation? What?
You guys used to play at Knott Hole Park, you know?
Yeah.
Down there at the south end zone. I mean,
with all my old team out of Jackson Creek.
Yeah. You know, that was pretty amazing, you know. And even before that, though, you guys had played down there.
Man, I tell you, it was more interesting watching us boys play football than Indiana at that time. Okay.
That's just wrong. That's not true.
Yes, it was.
It was true. We had some very good teams and players and coaches in the past at IU. We did.
And everyone can, you know, banter Tom Allen, but Tom Allen was a great guy overall.
Yeah, and we talked, Coach Allen and I talked several times, you know, it just.
Don't you say.
He's a great guy. Didn't care much for Walt Bell, but I really like Coach Allen. I'll put it like that. But anyway. On to Michigan State. I watched some film on Michigan State. Their quarterback, I believe, is a 50-50 shot. He's going to play. He got injured in the football game. So that will be interesting for me. Michigan State versus UCLA game. I watched film on that game. I watched film on some other games. Defensively, they're pretty good against the run, I think.
They have the top, well, not top, but they have those three linebackers who can read and react very well. Although they gave up like 100 and something yards, they still have a great defense that we have to watch out for. I mean, they held USC, who has an amazing offense. I mean, they lost like USC 45, Michigan State 31.
Yeah.
I mean, you have this game against Nebraska, who is, a pretty good team, 38-27. Like, all these are very close games. Their defense is, pretty good. Aiden, sorry if I murder your name, bro. Charles, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, brother, but
Chills.
We'll name him Chills. He's a dual threat QB playing in a pro style, like more of a modern style offense. Overall the defense on Michigan State definitely something to watch out for. Their strong safeties, their outside linebacker, their middle linebacker. They've been a part of the game for a while, so they definitely know.
Yeah,
they know.
That defensive coach there, he's a very good defensive coordinator too. He really is. He's been around for quite a while. Kind of like Iowa's defensive coordinator. Both those guys have been around for a long time. I expect that they'll try to stop our running game to try to make us one-dimensional. If I was coaching, that's what I would do. But our passing game is probably better than our running game, and our running game is better than our passing game, depending on the situation. But yeah, I'm kind of interested on our offense, what we'll do this week, because what we did against Oregon was a lot of plays that we didn't run before.
No, and that's one thing I give credit to the offensive coordinator at Indiana and offensive coordinator, and
Shanahan, Coach Shanahan, yeah.
Like, they keep a lot of stuff off film, on purpose for these kind of games. Because if you run through the motions of stuff, we're strategizing, stopping the clock, getting us through at least a field goal advantage if needed, and a lot of. I'm proud of our offensive line because, man, they barreled through those boys.
Yeah, they did. I was so proud at the right side of the lineup has been our weak side.
Yeah.
In this game they really showed up. I think they said, hey, no, we're good too. Benson and
so
Lynch and the whole.
If they talked about Fernando Mendoza going to Oregon, another player that would have had to go and play against Oregon had it been Colorado, which is where Benson went.
Yeah.
To play under Coach Prime. And if you talk about people that know, I mean, we had that offensive lineman from Ohio State.
Yeah.
He's played at that veteran style and at that pace in loud environments, so he definitely knows.
And we had Pat Coogan from center from Notre Dame.
Man, they all know.
Yeah, they know.
That was very good advantage for us on the front lines, and
Yeah, we had a lot of penalties for us and Oregon for false starts, but I really think that
illegal shifts,
yeah, but. We adapted and overcome that, and now we're at home against Michigan State. Homecoming game. Big noon.
Big Noon's actually coming.
The Big Ten tailgate's coming.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's gonna be nice.
10 for 10.
I hope
10
so.
beers for 10. I'm joking. I'm probably
10 barley props.
oh.
Barley pops.
Man, it's we're getting off the track here, but I I could go all day talking about this. The big issue I seen with Michigan State was the passing. The defense they struggle with the pass rush really bad, and the QB in the platform for them, they have the well they have the targets to go to, and they have the structure to be good. And again, we have plenty of games that could hurt us. That's right now what I'm scared at. But for this game right now, I need to focus on this game.
Focus on this game.
Growing up, under my grandfather and you, I've always been in a coaching standpoint with you guys.
Yeah.
So whenever I watch one game, oh, I see this game, I'm gonna watch this one, so I watch it, and then the next one, the next one, the next one, and I'm like, it's midnight, Chase. You have 4 or 5 beers hanging on there, and you're sitting here writing stuff down on your phone. You don't coach.
Yeah.
But I write it down because of you guys.
Right.
And of course, doing this podcast now helps me a lot. And I'm undiagnosed ADHD. So
yeah.
Was there ever a linebacker in the right mind that wasn't undiagnosed ADHD? Name one. Safety, outside linebacker, hybrid safety, punt return, kick return.
Yeah.
I had slot receiver, third string running back, speed back. You name where you wanted to put me at.
Yeah, you were an athlete. You were an athlete. You could have played anywhere. But anyway.
No, the hell I couldn't. Look how tall I am, guy. I miss the tall side.
Well, you see the guys on the college football teams that are your size.
I'm 5'5". One of the people from Oregon could step on me, literally. Okay? I'll give him the best shot, Dad. I'm always trying to take someone's head off.
Right, I know.
But I'm little, okay?
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to football. I wasn't that big either in high school. I mean, I was 6 foot. Biggest I think was 225, and I was a big hockey player. But I didn't play college football, but I still love it very much. Anyway. Michigan State's defense is, I thought, is good. The offense, has not been playing well. What do you think?
So with Michigan State, there's a lot of schemes and RPOs and stuff that could use work. I think the communication isn't there.
Yeah.
Because with RPOs, there's a lot of communication rolling around within the line.
Right.
There's a lot of communication going on with the wide receivers and being there and doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, the defense struggled with the pass rush since day one. They come up on those close games. I think those boys get tired. They don't have the rotation on defense. They get tired at the end of those games, in which we've seen in the past with IU that they haven't been able to substitute. They get tired, so I think that's the main issue.
Well, our main issue was at Indiana for years is that we had a really good offense and an average defense.
And then flip-flop. Yeah, we have a good defense
really
and we have an average offense.
Yeah, and speaking of which, I've talked to a couple of guys coming back in town this weekend. T. Gray Scales is coming to town.
Oh, really?
Yeah, T. Gray is coming over from Cincinnati, where he's a firefighter now. And
Nice.
So I mean, he's a former pro football player. He played in practice squads all over the league. Got some game time in Pittsburgh. So he was a great linebacker. But a bunch of the guys from the past are going to be coming in this weekend. So it's cool.
You know who I want to see more of? My boy Bump.
Bamba, yeah.
I want to see more in him.
Yeah.
That's one thing I feel like on this game would be really good.
Yeah, the tight end position at IU, in Kurt Cernetti's past offenses, I saw that they use a tight end a lot.
Man, we need more of that.
And
I like those double tight ends, man.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like that for running the ball. Yeah. James hasn't got to see the field as far as an offensive field, but special teams is playing still. And I mean, it's part of it. It's that he's a really good blocker.
Mm-hmm.
He really is. I would like, where I would like to see him at in a couple of plays, fullback.
Yeah, he would be hell of one. Trust me, it's hard. I know.
Yeah. When I was teaching him and some other of the kids that have played at IU and are at other schools or graduated now, he was one of those kids that I loved coaching. He would listen the first time, and he wouldn't have to repeat 100 times of what to do as far as blocking goes. I think he would really make a good fullback. I would love to see him in that position. Yeah. And there's games like we saw against Oregon.
Yeah.
Believe one of the defensive linemen was actually in there as one of the two backs that were back there to block. There's the tight end and the block, and we had an extra line. We had Coogan moved over, not Coogan, but Carter Smith moved over to a different side of the ball. It was a kind of a screwy formation, but yeah, I really would like to see him as a fullback. If you're, I've been an advocate of fullbacks. I love fullbacks in short yardage situations. I mean, we've gone for fourth down a lot this year, but we've not made many. If you look at the statistics wise.
Yeah, stat wise, pretty proud of how we did at Oregon. We went on that fourth down, then got called for false start and all that because of the shifts.
Yeah,
but let's be warned now. I have a feeling that Michigan State has seen that.
Yeah.
So it might be used against us in a lot of situations.
But away, but at home, it doesn't matter as much because your snap is.
Yeah.
Away is where we got to worry. Our Penn State away game, Maryland.
Yeah.
Away game.
That one's going to be another big game.
Yeah, I really would like to go to that game. UCLA is at home next weekend, so it's going to be. Yeah, that's going to be a good game too. I think this Michigan State game, we're like 26 and a half favorites in this game. Sometimes I wonder.
I don't like those. I hate it when people when the bets and stuff like that happen. Because you have to see it from even Oregon's perspective.
Yeah,
they were supposed to walk in there and dominate us.
Well, they were 7.5 point favorites.
Yeah, but still they're saying by 50.
Yeah,
they were crushing us. Now Michigan State can have a wild hair up their ass and come in, and we just have an off day. That's why I hate the betting formations because although a lot of the kids on the football team don't have social media and stuff like that, but they can still find it.
They find it.
And then I know I still the thing with me is that I never walk into a football game being cocky after being winning a big game and being relaxed and chill.
Yeah, I'm really hoping, and I think that Coach Sig will have this team and the assistant coaches, support staff, everybody will have this team grounded for this game. I think that they're really good at that. It's one game at a time, one play at a time, like Coach Sig says. It really is. rat poison that you hear all the time because, and people talking right now, I love to hear it, but people talking like national champions and, going to the Big Ten championship.
Listen, we can talk about that, once, let's get through these games first,
Right.
And if say theoretically we go to the Big Ten championship game, right, and we face Ohio State, right, and we win that. Now we can talk about a national championship team
because we're gonna, possibly meet them 2 times this year.
2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because then we have the Big Ten championship game, and then
it's college football playoff.
Yeah.
So
we just gotta play this one game.
Get to the next game, and just keep on rolling like that. Right now we're 1-0.
I got the stats up for the Michigan State USC game. I'm really relying on this one here because this to me is more, understanding what they can do against a team that's good. I've been watching USC. I have been watching their offense, and our offense is a lot like our offense.
Yeah, they're very good offense.
So, I have right here the total yards that Michigan State had was 337 versus USC's 523. Wow. Penalties, USC had 11 out of 82. Penalties
for 82 yards. Wow, that's almost a 2 years of penalties. That's a lot.
These rushing yards 108 versus USC's 283. Possession time was 28 minutes. Third down conversions was 5 out of 11. We got to watch out because, like I said, Michigan State might have a wild hair up their ass and come in, and it might be a close-knit game.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have the arrow on our head now. Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants us.
Everybody wants us. The sights are tight.
Yeah.
Line of sight is tight. Yeah. So yeah, we have to adapt to it and overcome it and go on and play the next game. Because Michigan's any team in the Big Ten. The SEC always talks about how great their conference is and how many games did the Big Ten win against SEC in the last bowl season. I don't know, but any team on any given Saturday or whatever the game is, doesn't matter what day it is, can beat another team in the Big Ten. The Big Ten is very good, and a lot of the games are like NFL is now. The parity is so close that, like Coach Sig says a lot, and it's really true as a former coach. The matter of winning and losing is such a narrow way,
If we look back then, the SEC definitely holds the lead in national championship games.
Right.
But the last 2 against Michigan and Ohio State, I hate it whenever they all sit down and say, well, the SEC has done this. Well, man, we're talking about the past. This is before the playoffs have happened.
Yeah, well, look at the preseason poll.
You guys didn't even make it to the last play. Well, you guys didn't even make it past the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
If we're going to talk Big Ten right now,
today,
man,
last year,
we may have 6. If we want to talk logically here, whenever they faced a Big Ten team out of one team that lost, one team lost out of the SEC. No, sorry. One team out of the Big Ten lost last year out of the bowl games.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
The rest of us, we annihilated the SEC. You can't sit here and tell me that Alabama is going to come up and walk up on Ohio State. You can't tell me that Auburn's going to walk up and face Oregon and win. You can't tell me that because the stats don't show that.
Yeah,
you walk in against the Big Ten, and yes, I'm very biased.
Yeah.
You can't say that you're more superior. You guys didn't get past who was in the playoffs last year. Right? Who went the Big Ten versus Notre Dame?
Right.
Ohio State versus Notre Dame. You can't sit here and tell me you guys didn't even make it there.
Yeah, it's a brand awareness thing. Like this year, I even been thinking about this. Notre Dame this year already has 2 losses. Are they gonna be a 3-loss team getting into the playoffs? But they have a big game this weekend too.
Against who?
Don't they play USC this weekend?
That'll be a hell of a game to watch.
I'm pretty sure. But anyway,
they have a game. Yeah, versus USC.
That's what I thought. I mean, talking about a huge game for the Big Ten and for SC against Notre Dame. That game's at Notre Dame, right?
But they've been playing for years against each other.
Yeah, they have been. They're a rivalry game. Really.
That's gonna be a fun game to watch. It's a 7:30 game. I know what I'm doing.
Well, we might not be home from our game yet. The way the traffic patterns have been leaving the stadium for the Memorial Stadium.
It takes us almost 2 hours.
I literally live like probably 5 minutes away from the football stadium.
Yeah.
And my coming back to my place last time took us an hour.
Against it was the Iowa game, wasn't it?
No, we're at Iowa.
No, not the Iowa, Illinois game.
No.
Yeah, it was against the Illinois game.
Was it?
Yeah. Remember, because my cousin and I had a little bit too much to drink.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love my nephews, all of them, all 5 of my nephews.
Hey, don't forget me, asshole. You love me too.
Yeah. But yeah, one of my nephews and my son were yelling out my truck window, saying to Illinois fans
that they won.
Like, did you hear that Indiana lost? So I'm like, I was getting so upset. I'm like, stop it.
Hold on. You need to understand where the hate came from, though, before you start judging it. The Illinois fans started talking shit to Adam and I first when we were walking into the stadium.
Right.
Okay. So Adam and I, after being patted down, walked through, right? And they started talking, like behind us, walking and talking shit.
Yeah.
So Adam and I getting a good laugh and giggle, and we looked at each other, okay? And we're like, okay. Go in there, completely annihilate Illinois.
Right.
Okay? So that's when it started brewing with him and I that we were going to start something. Look, we're both old and fathers now, okay?
Well, Adam's going to be a father soon.
Going to be father soon, but still.
But you're a father.
Yeah. And
to 2 kids. Well, almost
2.
Well, you have
I'm mentoring.
Mentoring another one. Okay.
Another one. Okay, that's a better word. I'm not his dad.
Not biologically.
No.
But you're pretty much in that role.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, Michigan State. Okay. We got really off the topic, and we gotta try to stay within a good time frame here, even though this has been fun. Michigan State, defensively, I think on film they look pretty good. They really do. And offensively, it's going to be a tight game, I believe. And we'll see what happens there.
One of the cousins just texted, is that really of the traffic patterns or because of Grandpa's wrong turns?
Well, I was driving.
Yeah. Anyhow, back to it.
one of the cousins is watching apparently, and one of my nephews. But yeah, so what do you think? What do you think, Chase, about this game coming up? What do you think are our strengths and weaknesses for this game?
Man, offensive side of the ball is going to be our strength. The passing game is going to be our strength. Our weakness is going to be making sure our corner and our safeties talk.
Communication.
You know, I want to see more Hemby runs. Honestly, I want to see more. I love, Black to Death. He's great. He hits the hole hard. He runs fast.
Runs low to the ground, his pads.
Yeah,
he's tough.
I don't want to see random pass plays just form.
Yeah.
I have full faith in Mendoza and his strength and his able to pass. I mean, that dude can dump it.
I really don't. I mean, he did a really good job at seeing what's in front of him and against Oregon and taking off to run. But I really don't want to see him do that.
Yeah,
because
potential to get hurt.
I think that he might have tweaked his elbow a little bit in the last game.
Oh, it was turf burn.
Okay.
It was turf burn. You have those. Just run some Neosporin on it. Quit being a baby and go out and play.
Yeah, you can't say rub any dirt on it anymore.
No,
you never, hardly ever playing on a dirt field.
I mean, the only other one I can think of is at Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Notre Dame's on the grass field. I think that.
But yeah, so I think that we have to really focus this week is on a running game.
Mm-hmm.
I really would like to see. Beginning of the season, people were talking about the fourth downs that we didn't get, but I've been saying this from the beginning. That was all by design.
Mm-hmm.
That was Coach Sig saying to his linemen, "I believe in you. Now go do it."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I believe in you. Now go do it. I believe in you. Now go do it.
Yeah.
And we had over 300 yards rushing every game.
Yeah.
Just about. I don't know what our final stats were for against Oregon for rushing, but because I know that we had Martin hasn't been in the game at all.
Yeah. I wonder what's up with that. Most of all, I want to try to keep all of our guys pretty healthy, walking through this. I think one downfall is that if this is a blowout game, let's try to keep our guys,
Yeah, if it's a blowout game, let's take some of the starters out.
Let them rest up.
Last year we did that a lot, and people have said that maybe that's why Curtis Rourke didn't get mentioned in the top Heisman,
the
list. But when you're a Heisman voter, you're looking at the whole pack. You're supposed to be the most impactful player on the team.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about how much star power you have or whatever.
Right.
It's supposed to be about you're the best player at your team, and in college football, you're one of the best players there.
Yeah.
So I would like to see, if we do blow them out, get the backups. If this is third quarter and we are blowing them out at the end of the fourth quarter, just put D2 out.
But also, I would love to see another close game. But
yeah,
that I don't know. I'm flippy floppy. I understand putting a beat down on a team to get your voice out there, but I think after this game we've put our voice out there.
Yeah, we're definitely on it now. That's for sure. That's for certain. That's the nationally. If you look at nationally now, even I asked Pat McAfee on the show. I said, ask Heather if she's coming to homecoming or not. Heather didn't, and because she's always just went against us for so many years.
Who's that one old bald dude that always hates us?
Paul Fienbaum.
Yeah, isn't he part of Big Noon?
No,
He's-
Paul's
he's-
on the SEC.
Oh, okay.
But and then there's some other ones. They really knocked us down and stuff like that. Really like they're not for real. Now Kurt Herbstreit comes out. Somebody online posted that Kurt Herbstreit that he's always an SEC bandwagon or something, but it was other words I won't say.
Yeah.
And Kurt Herbstreit comes out, says we're the #1 team in the country now. I couldn't believe it. I was like, am I still dreaming from the Oregon game? I mean, am I still asleep?
The one thing that I hated about the like, not all of them, I can't say all of them, but there's a selected few that constantly bash us.
Yeah.
They bash us in the Big Ten. And mostly us though. Like, what's the hatred coming from? Like,
Yeah.
why is it a factor that you have a coach like we have in Sig? He builds an empire, and then all of a sudden we're good, right?
Yeah, and the talk about Coach Sig going to Penn State has been really loud.
Yeah, that one's been keeping me up at night.
I really, his kids are all doing really well. A lot of them are doctors, and they're in a lot of high paying fields. I don't think that he's. I mean, I don't
wish
think
that this podcast would go through, right? Like Fisher or somebody, because I want to hear that question be asked.
Yeah.
I want to hear.
Well, he's not going to answer he's going to do the political answer.
Well, I get he's going to do the political answer, but then again, it's like we're talking like Kurt already knows that he's going to get a raise.
Right.
Kurt already knows.
Well, he did last year,
right?
The whole staff did.
Right, but he knows that since we've done what we've done, he knows he's going to get a raise.
Yeah.
But raising that political, answer, I think in my voice and in my head would be wrong. Because he even did at James Madison when someone's like, "Oh, these guys are up in that, up there." I feel like that cursing guy is going to go here. He literally texted the dude on Twitter, said, "No, not interested." Then DM'd him and talked to him about it. So we already know Kurt is very open about his words and his choice of words. But to be able to give us Indiana fans,
Yeah,
and also the kids, to be like, hey.
So wait, I'm gonna. Kurt Signetti answers someone on X.
On X back then, yeah.
Oh, at James Madison.
James Madison.
Oh, okay, that's different.
That's a different, different perspective there. But what I'm saying is that just to give us some reinforcement of like, hey, I signed this contract for 8 years. I'm gonna stay here for 8 years.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go anywhere.
I see. That's the thing. As a coach like him, he built himself to go up to each level, to the next level, and he went back to the beginning. He went to the beginning when he first started getting a head coaching job. He went back a level, the D2.
And then made them D1.
No, I'm talking about Indiana, PA.
Oh,
He went from Saban's tree and went back because he believed in himself. He said that before, and went up to the next level. It went to Elon, James Madison, to Indiana. He keeps on going up levels. But I really think his dad was a Hall of Fame coach, and I really believe that for him to leave now and go to a place like Penn State is going to bring so much different pressure on you. Why would you do that? Here you're building
an empire.
You're
building something.
A dynasty.
Yeah.
You're building a dynasty at Indiana. Someday you're going to have a statue out front of the stadium of Kurt Signetti when he's gone. Kurt Signetti's going to probably win, Hall of Fame recognition for what he's done from Indiana in this past.
Right.
I think that means a lot to him, that he wants to be like his dad. Most sons want to be like their dad.
Yeah.
So I think that he would prefer almost to do that, to get that statue, the Hall of Fame. That I think that means a lot to him. It really does. He's very competitive. He's like me, competitive. You know what I mean? Attention to detail.
Like where he uses poise.
Yeah. It's like what he said about Fernando Mendoza. He had a bad throw, and Fernando came over to the sideline, and he goes, "Are you having fun yet?" to Fernando. That's a lot like when like for instance, when I was a goalie, when I got higher up, I mean, it's all about the what you did for me lately. The one goal that you let in and you lost the game, and it was, he had 45 shots against you, and as a goalie, you're like, well, I tried the best to do for my team that I could do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's on to the next game. But in the sports world, it was the goal that the sports world, the reporters, that was the goal that you let in, and 45 shots.
Yeah.
So it's the same mentality, and Fernando has that mentality, like I had when I was a goalie. Well, you might have got by me that time, but next time you're not getting by me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm making the next save, the next big save. And he was the same way. Him and the team went down to score right after that touchdown.
9 plays.
So yeah.
But Michigan State, though, the defense, they struggled with a lot of pass rushes.
They play a
It's a 4-2-5.
4-2-5.
4-3-5. Well, that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense, but they play I saw primarily like a 4-2 and a 4-3 defense. So
it's a 4-2-5. It's a nickel package.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of lanes that open up in that. I noticed they played a lot of man a lot of times, and I would play zone at times. They would blitz multiple people from different locations. They disguise really well. They disguise their front, disguise their intentions, and one thing that I noticed that is that they like to come up to the line as linebackers. They drift back a little bit, like they're going into pass defense, and rush, and that gave some teams some fits. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what we got, going on. It's going to be another hard-fought battle, even though you should see.
Yeah.
I hope that QB on their offensive side is good to go, because I think he has potential, and for our guys to get in that backfield and create something, any play can determine any game.
Yeah, that's true. I just like to say, like, you see behind me right now, it's like a blank room. We're gonna be remodeling this and decking it out with a lot of different stuff from my collection of IU and Buffalo Bills Mafia signs, and I can't believe I lost that game last night either.
Penix,
Penix played well. He did. Former Indiana quarterback. He had a really good game.
Former also Washington Husky too.
Yeah, former Washington Husky. Yeah. And that's one thing I just want to, because you just said that, and it just triggered my brain. It did. It triggered the craziness of college football. Now, in the past, we had some very good coordinators here. Some great coordinators here that have left and gone to do great things at other schools. DeBoer is in Alabama, head coach.
Yeah.
Okay. We had another head coach go out and is at D1s, another D1 schools. They've branched off all over for D1 programs, and we have had head coaches that went and became great coordinators. Tom Allen, great coordinator at Penn State. Now he's at Clemson. We've had a good coaching tree. But what I'm getting at is I'm really worried more than Coach Cignetti is keeping our assistants here. They have been with them for a long time. They know how each other works. They know, what the formula is, and to lose them, would be huge.
Would be huge.
You're over here yawning. It's not even. It's 12 o'clock. I know.
I'm constantly tired.
But that really worries me. So if you're hearing this at IU administration, Dolson, Witten, please, the IU collective, let's keep them boys in the shop. Let's keep this whole thing in the shop. I know that probably some want to leave. Coach Tino, I can't pronounce his name, but when he was in the last year, when he was at the coach's show, I said, and I looked at my dad, I said, he's going to be head coach someday. He goes out to UCLA, they end up letting him go. I think that was more political than anything, but I don't really want to lose our coaching staff here. I really want to keep them together. They work really well together. They're truly a family. Their families all get along.
Man, we got storms rolling in for Saturday. Better bring a rain jacket.
Yeah, I've got to get my rain stuff out. I see that happening now. Yeah.
Woohoo! Rain game.
Rain game.
I like rain games.
Please, people, show up to the rain game.
Oh, yeah,
we're about to get done here. People, show up. Let's pack the rock. Let's be loud. Wave them towels and be loud through the whole game.
Lose your voice.
Lose your voice. First, I've been trying to say this since forever, for years. Third down is important to get them off the field, but you know what? The first down is important too. What you do on first down ends up where you're going to be for second or third down. So being loud on first down makes more sense than being loud on second down. Be loud the whole game. Everybody wants to sit down still. I've been to a lot of college football games, a lot of pro football games, and so just be loud. And everybody have a great day. I might come back here on Friday and try this again. So thank you for joining us. Remember to hit the like button and come listen to our podcast again. Next time I might have another person here with me and my son. We'll see what happens with that. But everybody, please have a great day. God bless, and see you at the Rock on Saturday, Indiana versus Michigan State. Let's get that brass spittoon back so we can have a little child spit in that thing. I know that we have it already because we won last year, but keep it home. Keep it home. Okay. God bless everybody. I'll see you later. Till next time, this is Hoosier Faithful with Jason Simpson, and this guest today was Chase Simpson. Thank you.